Are y'all watching what's going on in Arizona? This is going to push women to the ballot box. And what just happened is so bad that even some Arizona Republicans are pushing back like, buddy, that's just too far. Okay, this article is from The Guardian. Multiple outlets are talking about this. Arizona Republicans denounce revived 1864 Smbortion ban in sudden reversal. They knew that this was a bridge too far. I don't know what it is about these people that they refuse to listen to what women are saying, considering women are typically active at the ballot box. I don't know, but let's just get into it. As the party struggles to talk about Smbortion, and you see I do too, considering censorship, um, response marks fastest and strongest rebuke of bans since the fall of Roe. Hours after Arizona's Supreme Court declared on Tuesday that a 160-year-old Smbortion ban is now enforceable, Republicans in the state took a surprising stance for a party that has historically championed Smbortion restrictions. They denounced the decision. This decision cannot stand, said Matt Gress, a Republican state representative. I categorically reject rolling back the clock to a time when slavery was still legal and we could lock up women and doctors because of a smorgasbord. First passed when Arizona was still a territory, the ban only permits smorgasbord to save a patient's life and does not have any exceptions for rape or incest. Today's Arizona Supreme Court decision reinstating an Arizona territorial era ban on all smorgasbords from more than 150 years ago is disappointing to say the least, says DJ Shope, a Republican state senator. You would think that they would talk. Do they not talk? Do they not have powwows? I oppose today's ruling, added Carrie Lake, a Republican running to represent Arizona in the U.S. Senate and a Donald Trump loyalist. Lake called on the state legislature to come up with an immediate common sense solution that Arizonans can support because these people know that this is extreme and it is going to rile women up. Democrats need to be pouncing on this. Y'all know it's bad when Carrie Lake is like, what? This is too far. Who came up with this? Okay. Since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, leading the GOP to stumble in the 2022 midterms and smorgasbord rights supporters to win a string of ballot measures, including in purple and red states, Republicans have struggled to find a way to talk about smorgasbord without turning off voters. But their response to the ruling in the 1864 ban may mark their fastest and strongest rebuke of a smorgasbord ban since Roe failed. But the crazy thing is, the research is out there. The polls are clear. Women want reproductive rights. And Republicans have been getting mollywopped. Every time they put up an initiative to the voters are telling them that we want reproductive rights. But they're like, no, we're going to just keep on trying. No. And they keep getting mollywopped. I am glad that I'm not a Republican strategist because they keep taking L's and they deserve these L's. This is an earthquake that has never been seen in Arizona politics, said Barrett Marson, a Republican consultant in Arizona, of the decision. This will shake the ground under every Republican candidate, even those in safe legislative or congressional seats. And they deserve it. Y'all deserve it. Y'all deserve it. The 1864 ban is not currently in effect and may not go into effect for weeks due to legal delays. Smbortion is currently allowed in Arizona up to 15 weeks of pregnancy. Some of the criticism of the Tuesday ruling came from politicians who had previously supported the 1864 ban or cheered the end of Roe. Lake previously called the ban a great law, according to PolitiFact. David Schweikert, an Arizona congressman who is facing one of the most competitive House races in the country this November, said on Tuesday that he does not support the ruling and wants the state legislature to address this issue immediately. But in 2022, said the fall of Roe pleased him. His opponent needs to hammer him. Just show his words back to back. Just show his words back to back. That's all you have to do because women are fed up. And even the Republican candidates know it. Like, why would these people do this? I don't know. But it's like just saying women, go vote, go vote. The Speaker of the Arizona State House and the President of the State Senate, who are both Republicans, also released a joint statement saying that they would be listening to our constituents to determine the best course of action for the legislature. In contrast, on the day Roe fell, the Republican controlled state Senate released a statement declaring that the 1864 ban was in full effect immediately. That statement unleashed confusion and chaos among Smbortion providers in Arizona, prompting them to stop offering the procedure out of an abundance of caution. They are trying to play it both ways. They are trying to have this illusion that they're moderate to get votes because they know Arizonans do not want total bans, said Dr. Gabriel Goodrick, one of the providers who temporarily stopped performing abortions when Roe fell. So they are talking out of both sides of their mouth, and people that are going against them need to hammer them with their own words. This is just ridiculous. Now they're saying that they oppose it. Yeah, a little too late. Arizona is one of roughly a dozen states where voters may be able to directly decide abortion rights come November. Activists in the state have now collected more than 500,000 signatures in favor of giving Arizona residents a chance to vote on a ballot measure that would enshrine abortion into the state constitution. Democrats hope the turnout for this proposal, which has yet to be officially added to the ballot, will also lead to a surge in support for their candidates, including Joe Biden. A similar dynamic is at play in Florida, whose Supreme Court recently paved the way for a 6-week abortion ban, and where voters will be able to vote in November to constitutionally protect abortion. The decision also exposed the deepening rift between Republicans and their longtime allies in the anti-abortion movement as Arizona Republicans raced to distance themselves from the long dormant law. Abortion opponents cheered the decision. We celebrate the Arizona Supreme Court's decision that allows the state's pro-life law to again protect the lives of countless innocent unborn children, said Jake Warner, a senior counsel with the Alliance Defending Freedom, who argued the case before the court in favor of the ban. Trump, the presumptive Republican presidential nominee, who disappointed religious conservatives on Monday when he said states should decide their own abortion laws, did not immediately weigh in on the Arizona ruling. Abortion rights are popular in Arizona. Nearly 1/3 of Arizona in the 2022 midterm election said abortion was the issue that mattered most in helping them to decide who to vote for, according to exit polling. By a 2-to-1 margin, voters in the state said abortion should be legal, and 40% said they felt angry about the Supreme Court decision ending the federal right to abortion. A poll conducted in late February by the Phoenix-based firm Noble Predictive Insights found that 40% of Arizona voters expected Trump, if elected, to attempt to ban abortion altogether, while 45% expected Biden, if reelected, to increase access. The Vice President, Kamala Harris, will go to Arizona later this week in a visit that was planned ahead of the Tuesday decision. She blamed the impending state ban on Trump, whose 3 Supreme Court appointees voted to eliminate the federal guaranteed right to abortion. Arizona just rolled back the clock to a time before women could vote, and by his own admission, there's one person responsible: Donald Trump. Harris said in a campaign statement, "The alarm is sounding for every woman in America. If he has the opportunity, Donald Trump would sign off on a national abortion ban." Keep hammering them with their own words. That's it. That's all. Jump in. Let me know what you think about this. Like, comment, share.
This is Paul Adams. He was from Arizona, and when his daughter was 5 years old, he told his Mormon bishop that he was SAing her. And the church did a whole lot of jack shit. Years passed. They excommunicated him from the church, but never said a word, and it kept going. It kept going so long that when she was 9, he posted videos of them together. And when he had a second daughter in 2015, that abuse started at 6 weeks old. That little girl grew up, by the way, and eventually sued the church for literally knowing about what was going on the whole time and not saying anything. Oh, she lost because they're not required to report in Arizona. I'm bringing this up today, obviously, because the Arizona Supreme Court ruled that, we could just go back to the 1864 law, before we were even a state. If Paul Adams had been doing to his daughters today what he was doing to them years ago, she would have had to give birth. If she had... Not only would she have had to give birth, but if somebody dared to give her an abortion at 9 years old because of her dad, right? 2 to 5 years in prison. Which is how today, in April of 2024, I'm able to say something like, hey, at least this victim is lucky enough that she could have gotten an abortion. Better put this shit on the ballot, okay? Okay, put it on the motherfucking ballot in November.
I know 5 months is not that long, but the people that are watching this, that are still supporting Trump, that are going down the drain because of Trump and doing things to support Trump and doing things that were illegal for Trump and with Trump, like, I wonder how they're feeling watching this man, watching the legal proceedings, knowing now that this man probably can't work, that has paid out tons of money and is going to jail for 5 months. And like I said, I know 5 months is not long, but I'm not cut out for jail. Just, I'm not. But maybe these people are. Anyways, former Trump executive Allen Weisselberg sentenced to 5 months in jail for lying. Allen Weisselberg, a retired executive in Donald Trump's real estate empire, was sentenced Wednesday to 5 months in jail for lying under oath during his testimony in the civil fraud lawsuit brought against the former president by New York's Attorney General. Why are these people lying for Trump? I don't get it. I hope the other people are really watching this. Okay, Weisselberg, 76, was escorted out of the courtroom in handcuffs following the sentencing, which lasted less than 5 minutes. Asked if he wanted to address the court, Weisselberg, wearing a black windbreaker and a face mask, responded, "No, Your Honor." It is Weisselberg's second time behind bars. Oh, okay. Maybe he does know how it is to be a criminal. All right. The former Trump Organization chief financial officer served 100 days last year for dodging taxes on $1.7 million in company perks, including a rent-free Manhattan apartment and luxury cars. Now he's again trading life as a Florida retiree for a stay at New York City's notorious Rikers Island jail complex, though he's getting something in return. When Weisselberg pleaded guilty last month to 2 counts of perjury, the Office of Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg made it a legally binding promise not to prosecute him for any other crimes he might have committed in connection with his longtime employment by the Trump Organization. Weisselberg's plea agreement also does not require him to testify at Trump's hush money criminal trial, which is scheduled to start with a jury selection on Monday. Allen Weisselberg accepted responsibility for his conduct and now looks forward to the end of his life-altering experience and to returning to his family in his retirement, his attorney Seth Rosenberg said in a statement after the court hearing. Prosecutors with Bragg's office declined to address the court during the brief sentencing hearing. As part of his guilty plea, Weisselberg admitted lying when he testified that he had little knowledge of how Trump's Manhattan penthouse came to be valued on his financial statements at nearly 3 times its actual size. The 2 cases highlighted Weisselberg's unflinching loyalty to Trump, the presumptive Republican presidential nominee. Trump's family employed Weisselberg for nearly 50 years and gave him a $2 million severance deal when the tax charges prompted him to retire. The company continues to pay his legal bills. Weisselberg testified twice in trials that went badly for Trump, but each time he took pains to suggest that his boss hadn't committed any serious wrongdoing. In agreeing to a 5-month sentence, prosecutors cited Weisselberg's age and willingness to admit wrongdoing. In New York, perjury is a felony punishable up to 7 years in prison. Weisselberg's sentence mirrors his previous case, in which he was ordered to serve 5 months in jail, but was eligible for release after little more than 3 months with good behavior. Prior to that, he had no criminal record. Trump's lawyers took issue with Weisselberg's perjury prosecution, accusing the Manhattan's district attorney's office of deploying unethical, strong-arm tactics against an innocent man in his late 70s, while turning a blind eye to perjury allegations against Michael Cohen, the former Trump lawyer who is now a key prosecution witness in the hush money case. Weiselberg pleaded guilty March 4th. He admitted lying under oath on 3 occasions while testifying in New York Attorney General Letitia James' lawsuit against Trump in depositions in July 2020 and May 2023, and on the witness stand at the trial last October. To avoid violating his tax case probation, however, he agreed to plead guilty only to charges related to his 2020 deposition testimony. The size of Trump's penthouse was a key issue in the civil fraud case. Trump valued the apartment on his financial statements from at least 2012 to 2016 as though it measured at 30,000 square feet, 28 square meters. A former Trump real estate executive testified that Weiselberg provided the figure. The former executive said that when he asked for the apartment size in 2012, Weiselberg replied, "It's quite large. I think it's around 30,000 square feet." However, state lawyers noted Weiselberg got an email early in that year with a 1994 document attached that pegged Trump's apartment at 10,996 square feet. Weiselberg testified that he remembered the email but not the attachment, and that he didn't walk around knowing the size of the apartment. After Forbes magazine published an article in 2017 disputing the size of Trump's penthouse, its estimated value on his financial statement was cut from $327 million to about $117 million. These numbers are ridiculous numbers, y'all. As Weiselberg was testifying last October, Forbes published an article under the headline, "Trump's longtime CFO lied under oath about Trump Tower penthouse." The civil fraud ended with Judge Arthur Engoron ruling that Trump and some of his executives had schemed to deceive banks, insurers, and others by lying about his wealth on financial statements used to make deals and secure loans. The judge penalized Trump $455 million and ordered Weiselberg to pay $1 million. They are both appealing. So, I stay watching the news. It's going to be interesting to watch how this continues to play out. All right, y'all, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Politicians want more babies, but the actions of men is just going to keep women locking down their wombs, because these dudes really out here just ghosting these women and not taking care of their responsibilities. This one is Kentucky man admits to faking own death to avoid paying child support. The birth rate needs to tumble to hell. It really does. We need a whole reset and start over with just the people who really, really want to have children, because this is happening. Y'all know Charlie Withers. There's still more stuff coming out about Charlie Withers and how he disappeared on his pregnant wife, and he's doing all kind of fraud. There's way too many stories happening, and women just need to clamp down. A man in southern Kentucky has admitted in court to faking his own death to avoid paying more than $100,000 in outstanding child support to his ex-wife. Jesse Kiff, 39, pleaded guilty on March 29th in federal court to computer fraud and identity theft after he accessed Hawaii's death registry system and posed as a doctor from another state in order to create a fake death certificate for himself. According to a plea agreement filed in court, Kiff filled out a Hawaii death certificate worksheet in early 2023, essentially he assigned himself as the medical certifier for the case and certified his own death. He applied a digital signature for the physician, providing his name, title, and license number. This resulted in the defendant being registered as deceased in many government databases. Kiff then infiltrated other states' death registry systems using credentials stolen from other people to infiltrate private businesses, government, and corporate networks, allegedly the booking systems of a number of hotel chains, and then tried to sell access to the networks to potential customers online. The defendant faked his own death, in part in order to avoid his outstanding child support obligations to his ex-wife, the government said. But the plan eventually went wrong. Kiff now owes about $116,000 to his ex-wife, along with $200,000 to businesses and government agencies he hacked. In addition, he faces a maximum of 7 years in prison and up to $500,000 in fines at sentencing state for tentatively set for April 12th. It's a lot of work to be this grimy and just disappear and think that your responsibilities will just leave. But that's the reason why we're going to talk more about Charlie Withers. TikTokers have been on it. This dude out here being all kind of grimy, stealing. But the TikTokers are on it. I am going to make a post because I know everybody on YouTube doesn't follow what's going on over here on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok just and you are watching the Charlie Withers story, more stuff happened and came out yesterday about how he stole $150,000 and sold gift cards and didn't pay staff. This dude, grimy. The dude from Kentucky, grimy. And we can completely understand why some women are opting out. Women are watching this kind of stuff. Women are seeing how these people can just avoid paying, avoid their responsibilities, avoid participating in the lives of the children that they create. Anyways, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.